Such a sweet look, man. Wow, dude, I am impressed. This stuff feels really well built. That's how it's gonna look. We got some fake 5-dev cranks for under $100 that came with the cranks, a bottom bracket, and a sprocket off of Aliexpress, which is insane. I did not expect for the cranks to be this well built. Let me show you what's in the box and then we'll jump into this whole video. Since I got new cranks, I ordered a new bottom bracket. This is a SRAM dub bottom bracket. And I grabbed the tool to install the bottom bracket. I got this tool and this bottom bracket off of Amazon. This was the only thing I got off of AliExpress. I'll link everything that I have in this video in the description in case you guys want to check it out. I think this bottom bracket and this tool came out to like 70 bucks on Amazon. Got here in 2 days. These cranks altogether came out to $97, and it brings everything that I'm about to show you in this box. I was going to originally get it off of Amazon, but I was gonna pay $130 on Amazon, but I wouldn't have gotten the bottom bracket. So I went with AliExpress because one, it was cheaper and I got more from it while paying less. So the company is Evosid. Right here it says you will like it, and so far I'm liking it. As soon as you open the box, you get your sprocket. I chose 32 tooth because that's what I'm currently running and I like it. You can choose up to all these sizes, 30 all the way to 40 tooth. Colors black, silvery, rainbow. I went with titanium. This thing is pretty sweet. Very light. Seems well built. No complaints there. This is what you get. You get left crank arm, right crank arm. I went with 165 crank arms. I'm currently running 170, but I wanted to run a shorter crank arm just to see what it feels like. Man, these things are insanely well built. If they didn't have this logo and I was just looking at a blank crank arm, I would honestly think they were made by 5-dev. And this is the other crank arm. The only thing I'm noticing is that the preload adjuster on this crank arm is missing a screw. So that's one downside to this purchase. I mean, I could probably find a screw for this, so it's no big deal. But it's kind of a bummer that it didn't come with one. But even the preload adjuster is really well built. Definitely not plastic. I personally won't be able to use this bottom bracket for my full suspension bike because I have a press fit bottom bracket and these are threaded. But this will work on my hardtail, so I figured I'd save it, you know, in case my hardtail's bottom bracket ever gives out on me. And it comes with spacers too that I can use. But the bottom bracket feels pretty sweet too. This is the one I'm going to use. This is the one that it comes with, same size, fits. It's under the dub model. Next we got some bolts to screw on the sprocket to the crank arm. And lastly, we have crank arm spindle, MTB dub, 29 millimeters. Wow, dude, I am impressed. This stuff feels really well built. I don't feel like it's cheaply made. From what I can tell off of this unboxing, everything feels really solid. Bam, goes like that, crank arm. So those of you who have been following the channel, you know that I've been wanting to swap out these cranks just because they've been feeling funky. These are Shimano Dior cranks, 170, 32 tooth. The left crank arm is bent and it's taken a lot of abuse. So it's just time for an upgrade altogether. I've always loved the look of 5-dev, but the price is a little steep. I think $550 for crank arms is high for me. So I was either gonna get like some SRAM dub cranks, pretty much the same ones I have for my hardtail, or the same ones, the Shimano ones. And then I saw these come up for under $100 with the sprocket, the crank arms, and a bottom bracket. And I was like, dude, my curiosity got the best of me. I pulled the trigger, and I'm honestly not disappointed. So it killed two birds with one stone. It was fairly cheap, and these are 165 crank arms. So I really wanted to try a shorter crank arm just to see how it feels, see what the hype is about. So I'm gonna get these prepped up first, ready to be installed, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove all my old parts. I ended up having a screw for this preload adjuster. Doesn't look pretty because it doesn't blend in with it, but it works. I have this kit of bolts and nuts that I got off of Amazon. It's pretty clutch because I actually use a lot of these pedal pins, stem bolts, things like that. To install the sprocket, you only need 3 bolts, but it comes with 4, I guess, just in case you lose one. So as you can see right here, we got 165R and this is 165L. That is important because it does matter where you put it on the spindle. This is going to be for the right side, this is going to be for the left side, so you just want to pay attention to that. That is solid. Just getting it snug, I don't want to go crazy. There you have it. It's gonna be the right crank arm. We just need to get the bottom bracket installed, and then we're rolling. You gotta take off these pedals. One down, one to go. I think I can pop this out. So in Simi Valley, I realized that my chain guide was broken from the bottom. Like this whole bottom piece was snapped. And I realized that the video I posted in Laguna Beach, where I thought my fork had broken on me, it was actually this piece. Oh, shit. What clap, bro? Dude, what clap? You heard that?
Yeah, dude. I think you brought him down.
Probably. And the reason I know that is because Friday I took a picture of my bike because I dialed it in, I cleaned it up. That Friday I took the picture and it still had the bash guard underneath. I ride on Saturday, which is the day after that photo, and I hit that jump, I hear something crack. I didn't notice anything down here, but looking at the video, I did realize that it was missing, you know. So it wasn't the fork that broke, but something did break, and it happened to be this. This is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to have this bottom piece. I'm probably gonna swap this one for this one, just because it's fresher, it's newer, and I'm already dialing in this whole bottom part, so I might as well put in a fresher bash guard. Cranks are out, pedals are off. But this thing is awesome. It did its job, as you can tell. Worth the money. Park tool, bottom bracket bearing remover. There you go. Ta-da! It looks solid, man. Looks in really good condition. So this is the new bottom bracket. It's also marked left and right. So you take off the left side, you insert it like so. I think I have a screw in my way. So it doesn't go in all the way, but let me show you guys why. That screw right there is not letting me pass. So I'll have to remove it. It's just holding this plastic guard on the bottom. I might not even remove it all the way, just enough to where this piece can slide through. Yeah, there you go. Reach the inner part of the bottom bracket. Before this tool, I used to just hammer these in with a piece of 2x4 for each side. It's not the right way to do it, but it does get the job done. It does come with this, which is nice. You don't have to go look for a 17. Oh, dude, that's so nice. Definitely a more professional job than using a 2x4. Bottom bracket is in on the right side. And good to go on the left side. I'm not gonna tighten these all the way. I'm just gonna get them snug so that I can adjust it later. Check it out. That's how it's gonna look. That is insanely clean, but I'm gonna add a spacer just to help out with the clearance. Decent amount of grease. Alright, right side is on, left side is good. So what I read about dub bottom brackets and this whole dub system is you're gonna have a little bit of play in the crank arm. So you can spin it freely like so. And there's gonna be, you'll probably hear it. It's hard to do with one hand. But that tapping noise is the play in the crank arm. And then you use the preload adjuster that comes with it. You turn it, tighten up the whole crank setup. You wanna make sure you have that play in the crank arm. It's crucial because each bolt and each crank arm needs to screw in all the way to the spindle for it to be done right. And then once you have that play, you use the preload adjuster to get everything snug. So just keep that in mind, that the play is necessary to get these cranks on right. There you have it, folks. Finally installed and completed. Unboxed and installed. It took me a while, I'm not gonna lie. I've been at this for the last 2.5 hours. And that's because I wanted to do it right. There was a lot of play in the crank arm and I really didn't understand why. And then I started reading more about the dub system and just trying to figure this out. Eventually we figured it out and I am pretty impressed with the install process. Everything is running smooth, everything's solid, ready to shred pretty much. So I'm really curious on how these cranks are gonna hold up. I don't feel like price plays a role in how good something is. I learned that with the brakes, and these cranks were 70 bucks, or they are 70 bucks, and they've lasted me a good 3 years and taken a lot of beatings. So even though they're 70 bucks, they're still good. And this whole setup was 97, we'll just say 100 bucks. So sometimes, not all the times, price does matter, but in this case, I feel like for what you pay, which is 100 bucks, and what you see and what it feels like is definitely worth it. It almost feels like the same quality as these Shimano cranks. I'll give you guys a first ride impression on the next ride that I do, and I'm gonna abuse these cranks. I'm gonna pretty much keep riding all the same trails that I normally do, and we're gonna put them to the test. We're gonna see if the $100 went to good use or if it was a total waste. But that is gonna wrap up this unboxing / install. It's currently 11 p.m. I gotta be up at 5 a.m. so we're gonna end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next video.